Unscripted. KSU. Quick, tactical conversations from the heart of the power sports industry. In this business, time is torque. So hit the ignition, twist the throttle, and let's fire it up.
Episode 3, Mark Sheffield, we're back. I want to address a couple things from the first couple episodes. I really appreciate all the feedback and the questions, specifically the gross margin percentage. I messed up there. I gave a total gross margin percentage number. Thank you, Jason Lamont, for pointing that out. A couple of the terminology, too, will be a little bit more descriptive as far as what we mean, just in case you're not familiar. Really appreciate all the feedback. We're keeping them quick and easy. We've got a lot of comments on that they like us not including all the BS, so that's what we're here to do. One way we're doing that is we've implemented the pod clock behind me. So, Mark, we're starting the pod clock. We have 6 minutes. Well, 6 minutes and 10 seconds, it looks like. But this episode, what we're going to focus on, we're interrupting our 4 first scheduled episodes. And we're going to be talking about Mark's trip to China and CFMoto and the headquarters there. Mark, kick us off. How was the trip? Give us some insights to what you saw, what you experienced, and just the manufacturer as a whole.
Crazy week. The Saturday before last, hopped a 5-hour flight from Virginia to LAX, and then a 14-hour flight to Shanghai, and then a 2-hour bus trip to Hangzhou. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. First day in China, we did a little bit of cultural exercises and kind of saw some neat local stuff there in Hangzhou and learned a little bit about the city. And then second day went and visited the CFMoto factory, and it is almost impossible to put into words how incredible that operation is and how interesting the trip actually was. The CFMoto, started in 1989, the year that I graduated from high school. They're on this massive compound. They have got 5 production buildings that are all bigger than a super Walmart. And in one, build motorcycles, another ATVs, another UTVs. They've got their engine plant, which is just one CAD/CAM machine after another that is just churning out engine components, and then a whole team of people on the other side that are putting all that stuff together. They've got a foundry there. They have 8,000 employees on site or 8,000 employees who work at the factory, and they actually have dorms for a couple of thousand of those employees. So they actually have 2,000 people who live on the site and, are just able to walk to work in the morning. Full cafeteria. Everybody gets to eat on site, work on site. It was an amazing experience. I've been to quite a few manufacturing facilities over the years. Never seen anything like this before in my life. It's incredible what CFMoto is doing and how much energy they're putting into growing this segment of their business. They also make a bunch of scooters. They also have a lot of cool new things in the works. We were actually able to go into this secret room that they've got that we weren't able to take any photos. And it's literally like you see those movies where their defense department has got all these big screens up on the wall that kind of show what's going on around the world. Yep. CFMoto has that, and you can literally, you can touch things and you can see the assembly line. You can see motors going down the assembly line being put together. You can see orders coming in from all over the world. You can see sales that are happening. Just this big global overview of everything that's going on. So spent a day at the factory, and then we spent another day in Hangzhou, and then we went on to Beijing, where we did 4 days of cultural visits. So we went to the Forbidden City, which is incredible, Tiananmen Square, which a lot of people have kind of seen on TV and heard things about. We visited some other areas of the city, went to a couple of markets, and ate local food. I've got a lifetime supply of Chinese food in me at this point in time. And then after a week, we boarded another flight and another 12-hour trip back across to San Fran and another 6-hour flight back to the house. And I've spent the rest of the last week just trying to get over the jet lag. But if anybody ever gets invited to go on that trip, it's an incredible experience. Got to meet some great new people. Got to hang out with the largest CFMoto dealer in the country. Guy and his team are selling somewhere between 700 and 800 new CFMotos this year. So I thought we were doing good at 300 out the door this year, and they just smoked us. So incredible experience. Go if you can.
There's a reason why they probably have the highest profit margin in the industry, isn't there?
I think they're doing a lot of things right, and then you talk about vertical integration. I mean, if they need something, they just make it. They have the capacity to do that, and they also have the ability to implement changes really, really quickly.
Awesome. I pulled some metrics. Obviously, I'm trying to implement metrics in all these episodes. Average selling price of CF Motos we're seeing across the board right now, $11,600. Sales gross margin percentage, so sales profit margin, we're at 14% for CF Moto. That's about $1,655 in the dollar equivalent. On the back end, or F&I, the Finance Insurance Office gross margin percentage, 8%, $915 per unit on average. And these metrics, it's about 4% of the total units in the volume that we've seen across our board in the metrics that we pulled. So 4% of the sales were CF Motos. Just wanted to call that out. But I wrote down a couple questions I'd love to ask you about the trip. Any hot takes from your trip on CF Moto and what's to come in the next few years?
A lot of cool stuff in the works. I think they are really focusing on the areas that they think that they can hit critical mass relatively quickly. We talked about different product segments to get into, some discussions about cruisers, what other brands are doing. And I think that, they will be able to adapt very quickly to the needs of the American market. And that is by far their biggest focus.
Awesome. Advice to a new dealer or a dealer who's looking to sell CF Moto. Maybe they're not selling it currently. What's some advice you'd give them?
They are looking right now to set up some additional dealers, but only in markets that really need that presence. If you want to be a CF Moto dealer, you just need to make sure that you're ready to represent the full line. So they are not looking for, damn it,
Right.
They are not
Finish
looking for, it's all right. We'll get better. They're not looking for dealers who are only selling off-road vehicles and don't want to be a motorcycle dealer. They really are looking for full line dealers, and they're looking for dealers to partner with. So they want to have partners in the industry who aren't just adding CF Moto as an additional line to their showroom, but they're adding the brand because they're going to focus on it and they're going to do well with it.
That's great. Well, we're out of time. As always, I appreciate the feedback. We have to implement the pod clock because if not, Mark will just keep rambling as he just did. He's very long-winded at times. But thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Appreciate you riding with us on Raw and Unscripted. KSU. We'll be back next week with more ways to rev up your dealership success. Until next time, keep the throttle wide open.